On Billingham Sports TV, this week's Training Talk. Delighted to be joined by defenseman Andy Munroe. Andy, welcome back to Billingham.
Thank you.
Couple of games back under your belt, playing for the Stars again this season. Since we saw you in a Billingham jersey, it's fair to say you've played with a few other teams and retired at the end of last season. So how did the chance to play again this season come about?
Yeah, so I got injured at the end of last season playing for Chelmsford. I'd made the decision to retire last summer as well. So we decided to move up north and got involved with the juniors. So I know Richie obviously from playing last time I was here, and I'm going to coach in the 12s and enjoying doing that. Some plays for them as well, and yeah, because of the injury, I decided I wanted to start training on it again. I'm not a gym person, as you can probably tell. So yeah, started skating on it, fitness as well, because obviously I wasn't doing a lot and not able to do a lot. Training with the guys, and yeah, Fozzie and Al just said, look, I think we could do with an experienced D-man to help us out. And the next oldest guy at the defenseman team is about 22, I think. So yeah, they thought I could help out, and hopefully I can.
So as one of those things, obviously you're training to ask you to play maybe as cover, as a reserve, as a possible, and then obviously as soon as you're signed, you're straight into.
Yeah, so I trained for a few weeks before I kind of, they'd asked me a couple of times, but I trained a few weeks before I kind of made a decision, because I'm 40 now, I'd had an injury and obviously didn't get to do a pre-season, so I had three things that beat against me. I wanted to make sure that I could still compete at the level and I could still kind of do myself justice out there. I'm not the same player I was 10 years ago when I came and I was 13 flying around the ice, but hopefully I can still do enough to warrant a place on the team.
When you took those first steps back on as a Billingham Star again, did it feel right? Did you hadn't been away those 10 years? It felt good.
So the first game, it was a bit of a struggle, I'd say, just because the fitness isn't there yet. So I was having to think a bit more about not putting myself in opportunity, in positions where I might get beaten for speed or things like that. The second game, away in Blackburn, I was expecting to be worse because of the big ice, but actually, I think it starts to come back to you. It starts to become more natural, and the D-side game again felt a bit better. Obviously, I picked up an injury in that D-side game, so some of the bench didn't ice properly against Whitley, but things should be better now when I'm back this weekend against Sheffield.
Back for the big ice at Sheffield again.
Yeah. Small ice for my 4-year-old legs.
What's it like with obviously, because since you were last year, as you mentioned, the D-core this year, to say that they're young is probably underestimating it. You've got your top players like 17 and 18-year-old, and there's a lot of the kids have come through from the juniors, which is great for the club. But obviously, I was as somebody coming back, a much changed defence to what you were here last time.
Yeah, I mean, there's no defence left from when I was here last time. It's a few forwards, obviously Saxon, Mossy, Mikey. The quality is definitely there. The young brother, like Tommy, obviously very promising. The other guys, Joe, they're all two imports as well. The Jam, they're all good quality players. So yeah, hopefully, like I say, I can fit in, give them a few pointers here and there. From the years of experience that I've got, that help out, and yeah, hopefully it'll be good for everybody.
And from obviously last season we talked about this, the rebuild that went through last year, blooding all the youngsters, and particularly on defence, like you say, Tommy Spraggan, Ben Greenhalgh, the Dowdalls, they're getting that ice time last year, has put them in a good stead this year, where they're a season older, a season more experienced, and they're not completely fresh and they are competing at this National League level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I kept an eye on obviously the team last year, and I think you finished a bit lower down last year. You've done really well this year. Obviously, pushing hopefully to get second if they can, if not to cement third. But yeah, like I say, it's getting the experience and getting the ice time and getting to put in all those different situations, which obviously they've had the chance to do, and then they'll continue to develop, which is obviously good for the club.
And the buzz around, particularly this year, obviously there's always been a good dressing room at Billingham, but getting back into the dressing room and see the buzz around the team, particularly the run they're on at the minute. I think it's 6 wins off the belt, beating Whitley Bay a couple of times in a cup semi-final, third in the league. The room must be kind of buzzing at the minute.
Yeah, it's all positive. I mean, I think to some extent some of the players don't quite realise how good they are. I think in terms of confidence, sometimes we start the games a little bit slowly, almost waiting to see what happens rather than going after teams a little bit. So again, that comes with experience and judging what the right thing to do is. But that'll come, and hopefully, obviously, continue in that form and have a good end to the season.
Yeah. Just quickly about your other hat you mentioned at the start, coaching with the juniors. Obviously, the Stars are reaping the benefits of the top end of the junior club from last year. You mentioned your under 12s. You give those kids, a lot of them are their first experience of ice hockey, so you're bringing them through. But being involved at that end of the club must be rewarding as well.
Yeah, I mean, the junior club's been going through quite a rebuild as well, so they've got a lot of players that are in the first couple of years of playing. And yeah, certainly from the 12s, you can see a massive development there over the course of the year, which is obviously really good to see. They're all enjoying it. So yeah, it's good to be involved with, obviously. Having played for so long, now as a kid, right back at the start, there's someone that did that for me, so I think it's only right to give back and help the next group go through.